Usually on Friday I would tell a story, but today, instead of telling a entertaining quote unquote story, I want to share with you the story of our individual and collective lives. But before I share that story, let us all say together the Rebbe's chapter of Tehillim, chapter 124. Shir Amalas David, Lule Adonai Shoyalona Yemano Yisod, Lule Adonai Shoyalona B'kum Aleinu Odam. Azai Chaim Lo Unem Charoisa Pambon Azai Maim Shtafunu. Nachlo over nafshena zay over nafshena mayim azidoni baruch Adonai shelo nisononu teref l'shenim nafshena k'tziponim ledom epach yoikshim hapach nishbar v'anachnu nimlot ne'ezreinu b'shem Adonai oisei shomayim v'oretz. Let us give some charity with the prayer and the hope for the security of all our dear brothers and sisters, and obviously the return of the hostages and the return of all of us home to the Beis Hamikdash. And what a propitious day discussing this then. Today the 27th day of the month of Nisan, Erev Chav Ches Sivan, Nisan, the eve of the 28th day of the month of Nisan. Why am I mentioning that date? Because in 1991, after a regular Mariv evening service, the Rebbe started delivering a Sikha, which seemed to be the regular Sikha, discussing a different topic of the Parsha of the week and the message of the day, encouraging to do more mitzvahs and so on. But suddenly, the Rebbe turned extremely serious and very emotional. And the Rebbe started saying, because of the unique stress of the redemption at this time, an astonishing question arises. How is it possible that despite all these factors, in other words, everything that has been accomplished already, all the miracles that we see, the transformation of the world, the opening up of the world, and yet Mashiach has not come? This is, says the Rebbe, beyond all possible comprehension. And then the Rebbe said, what's more incomprehensible is that we live with it. We go on. Could be not today. Mashiach can come not today, not tomorrow. And life just goes on as usual. I'm paraphrasing. How is it possible that in such a moment we can be so apathetic? We can be so relaxed about it and not screaming, doing whatever we can so as to make redemption, Mashiach, a reality. Why am I saying this is a story of our life? Because that's the purpose of our life. The purpose of our life is to bring about Mashiach down here in this world and enter into and living into the time of complete redemption. With the Beis Hamikdash, with peace and harmony, with the revelation of godliness in its fullest form. That's the story of our life. And the Rebbe goes on and says, I'm charging you, I'm making each and every one of you my messenger to accomplish that task, because it is in your hands. I, says the Rebbe, I have done whatever I could to prepare the world for Mashiach, to bring the awareness of Mashiach, for the world to recognize that there is such an individual, there is such an error, but it is for you to make it happen in reality. And this, says the Rebbe, I cannot do for you. I can encourage you, I can teach you, I can guide you. But wanting Mashiach, welcoming Mashiach into your lives, that's something that you can do. And the Rebbe went on talking on those terms in a highly charged, emotional way. And that day has become a turning point for all Chassidim to intensify into what is called the Mashiach campaign. But we have to understand that Mashiach campaign is not some kind of an aloof concept. It is something that has to permeate our entire life, our entire being. To recognize and to understand that everything which is happening today in this world, and the Rebbe's words, is what Mashiach is changing, transforming, and influencing the world to go in this direction. The world is going in the direction of redemption, the transformation of the world. Even AI, this is not what the Rebbe said, but I'm saying, is all part of the transformation and perfection of the physical world, so that we should be able to have more free time to study Torah and to be involved in godliness. But we must want it. And we also have to recognize redemption is not just an error. Redemption has a redeemer. And that redeemer is no other than the Rebbe himself. And this is what we have to understand, appreciate, relate to, and thus listen to him. Because that's one of the obligations that we have as people, to listen to the Melech HaMashiach, what he tells us. So what does he tell us? Be better. So let's all be better, even just a little bit. And this Shabbos we will celebrate with him in the Beis HaMikdash.